Hey, Samara. Maybe it's just you and me today. Maybe it's just you and me. I don't know if there's someone else live or what. What's going on? What is going on? So, what's up? How are you doing? Oh, my goodness. I don't know why lately I've been so tired. No. I stayed up last night and I was watching. I'm telling you, I was watching. I don't know if you know that show, The Voice, but I was watching like the most emotional auditions from The Voice. And I started watching it and I couldn't stop watching it. I love that. Some of these singers are so good, like so good. Oh, jeez. My stupid chat doesn't come up anymore. Hi, Carrie. Nice to see you. A TV show, yeah. Oh, you know what? I had a bunch of intros that I was gonna, keep, and I hit some button, and they all went away. And I had already deleted them, so I couldn't re-download them. But that's okay. Someone told me that they were too long anyway, so I shortened them up. So how are you guys today? I tell you how I was going to say, how was your weekend? But I keep forgetting it's Tuesday already. My husband came home with 12 ears of corn yesterday. So he's going to try and do that on the barbecue tonight, which I'm looking forward to. That and a big salad. I've already, just from eating properly, I've already kind of lost a little bit of weight, but not a lot of weight, but a little bit. Yeah, but someone said that they were too long, or someone told me that they were too long, so kind of cut it down. You can never please everybody. So did you guys hear about that woman in Montana? I had to turn my camera on, but I look like shit today. I had to put my hair back because it just looks terrible. That woman was sleeping in her tent by herself. She was a hiker, and I didn't put any makeup on or anything. I'm a mess. She was sleeping in her tent, and a grizzly bear got her, killed her. I don't know if they found her body or what, but it's like some small town in Montana. Oh, Carrie, thank you. You're kind to say, but I know I'm not, but that's okay. Yeah, it was bad. She was sleeping in her tent, which is, I don't know. I mean, for me, my kind of camping is RVing or sleeping in a van. I don't know if I would go by myself in a tent and sleep in bear country. They said it's never happened there, but still, you always hear about bear attacks in those places. Yeah, she was, I don't know how old she was, but yeah, But you always hear about a bear attack every year. There's a bear attack. And my husband, he wants me to go camping. He wants to go camping in a tent, and I won't. I told him I'm not. My camping is in a hotel room, or forget it. We're actually going to take the kids to this place called Waldameer. We're going to take them to a hotel room with a hotel where they have a swimming pool, and take them. It's like a water park. So that's what we're going to do with them. I'm a glamper, no camping. I'm a glamper. I like glamping too. Or a cub attack. A cub bit some guy in the butt, and he was good sport about it. Well, that won't kill him. Cubs are, you don't get between a cub and her mama, because they are fiercely protective of their cubs, which is normal. I mean, anybody in any animal in the wild is protective of their offspring. Even alligators, I think they have their babies in their mouths. But yeah, so she got pulled right out of her tent, and she was killed. My girl is away at Alton Towers roller coasters for 2 days. I'm such an anxious mom, and she's 25. Yeah. Well, this isn't out roller coasters. This is just going to be like water slides. So actually for the little one, they got these little slides. So that'll be fun for them. And then we'll have a swim. We'll go to a hotel with a swimming pool so they could swim in the pool at the hotel. But I'm not sure when we're going. I have to, well, mom and dad work all week, so yeah. That poor woman had to have been, oh my gosh, can you imagine being just like, well, she was killed. But can you imagine being like, oh, can you imagine being pulled out of your tent by a grizzly bear? And grizzly bears can be mean. Like my first instinct, if I was around a bear, my first instinct would be to run, but they say that bears can run at like 40 miles an hour, or to climb a tree, and they can climb trees. So where do you go? Like you're supposed to put yourself in a ball, or you're supposed to make yourself really big. But no, I would not be like, I would not be like tenting by myself in bear country. There's no way. We don't really have bears, more sheep and cows and Highland cows. I was watching this YouTube channel yesterday, and it's like all about things that can kill you in the wild. And you'd be surprised at the animals that can kill you. Like from beavers. Well, of course, alligators and snakes. Everybody knows about that. But sheep, deer, giraffes. I mean, all these different animals that can kill you if you're like anywhere near them. Like it was really a good channel, actually. And then the other thing was 10 people's domestic pets that have killed them. Of course, some people keep venomous snakes, so that's a gimme. That's a venomous snake, if it bites you, can kill you. Of course, anybody knows that. But, this one guy, like, he had a venomous snake, and it was one of the most venomous snakes in the world. And while he was going to feed it, and I guess how they feed it is live animals. Instead of like the way he was usually feeding it, he'd throw the live mouse or whatever in there. He put his finger in there or his hand in there somehow to close the whatever it was. However, he had the snake, and he got bit and ended up dying. I know. And another one was he kept and he also, this guy had a tiger. He lived in an apartment building. Think about this, an apartment building. He had a Bengal tiger and an alligator that was like 5 or 6 feet long. And he rented out rooms in his apartment. It was crazy. Like crazy. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine. Can you imagine renting a room from someone and then finding out there's a Bengal tiger? And supposedly these people that were renting the room, some of them got really attached to this tiger. I guess he wasn't like really mean, but still, I'm not sure about that. But what about the alligator? Where are you keeping an alligator in an apartment? No, thank you. Are you letting it roam free? Like what? Hello? No, I'd be demanding my money back. We have lots of insects that cause cellulitis due to bites, serious life infections. Yeah, that was another one that can kill you is mosquitoes. I mean, you don't think about insects like, killing you, but there's some that can. I hear those stories all the time where they get small exotic animals and then release them then when they are too big. Yeah, it's like people will get these pythons that are small, and smaller in size, and then they'll release them out into the wild, like invasive species that aren't like native to United States or whatever, and then they release them out into the wild, and then they end up getting bigger. And because I think I read somewhere where snakes just keep on growing. I don't think they sorry, my nose is running. I think snakes just keep on growing. So yeah, we're gonna take the kids to this place called Waldemere Park, and they're excited about it. Gonna stay in a hotel, and I think we're gonna stay for a couple days, and then probably go to the Lake Erie, do some fishing. I got my fishing license. It's always catch and release, though. Catch and release. I'm not sure right now because they're still doing the swimming lessons. It's got to be after their swimming lessons. Where's your face destination? What's that mean? My face destination? Not sure what that means. But yeah, so we're going to just do that and let's just enjoy them. Because, last summer, because of COVID, we couldn't have them. So this is like the first time, it's been 2 years since they've been actually with us that we've been able to do anything. We couldn't go anywhere really because everything was like kind of shut down last year. So plus we didn't want to, you didn't want to take a chance and go somewhere and catch something. Destination unknown. Exactly. Maybe we'll go stay at a haunted house. Do you know, me and my husband did stay at a haunted hotel one night. Oh, jeez. But we never saw any ghosts. I should have demanded my money back because if you're going to stay at a haunted hotel, you should at least see ghosts. But no, we didn't see any ghosts. But it was a haunted hotel. Supposedly haunted hotel. Turkey is mine. I've been to many and wonder if America will make me change my mind. I've stayed in haunted castles. I've stayed in haunted castles. Yeah. Um, my my dream vacation, believe it or not, would be to go to Iceland. And I don't know why. I want to go. I think it's beautiful there. I just would love to go there. Scotland is I love the Scottish accents are my all-time favorite accents. I mean, I love the accents of the Scottish people. I just love the way they talk. I love the way they speak. I love their accents. They probably don't think they have accents. They probably think we have accents, but I just love listening to them talk. It's just me. Some do. I mean, sometimes I have to really listen really good, but I kind of like mostly understand when you're talking. Yeah, no. Yeah, I've had Carrie on my panel one time. I really did. I didn't think she was that hard to understand. Some Scottish accents are really hard to understand, really, really hard to understand. But some are, God, my hair is a mess, but I don't care. Yeah, I like the way she speaks. You're used to me now, Carla. I will get used to me eventually. Carla will get used to me eventually. When you came up on my panel, I thought I didn't really have a really hard time understanding you. Another accent I really like is the Irish accents. I really like those. I think they're pretty cool. Irish, Scottish, British, Australian, all those accents because they're different from ours. I love the way Mel speaks. And I was like watching this. There's actually everything on YouTube. Okay, everything on YouTube that you want to learn about is anything. And I wonder if actors do this, but how to talk with an Irish accent, how to talk with a Scottish accent, how to talk with an Australian. Australian to me was the hardest accent ever. Like the way they say certain words is like really hard. And then I was watching about the Irwin family, the ones that live in Australia. And they were talking about how many animals were lost in those awful fires. So like I go down rabbit holes all the time. I just start watching these things and I just watch crazy stuff. And then there's another channel I watch and it's called Simple Living in Alaska. They live out in Alaska. Oh my God. You should see the garden they have there and all the canning they do. My gosh, they do so much canning. So I've been going down rabbit holes and rabbit holes and rabbit holes. But too bad we can't grow a decent garden here. We have planted a garden here and the animals, even though my husband put mothballs around, supposedly that's supposed to keep the animals away, is not working. The animals are, he was so disappointed yesterday. He had cauliflower like planted because he loves cauliflower and these bugs got to it and kind of destroyed his cauliflower. So he was not a happy camper yesterday. But we have our corn on the cob. So I'm really looking forward to that. He's going to do that on the barbecue tonight. I love conspiracy theories. And if you disagree, people go crazy. Someone's like, there's a movement out about the earth being flat. Supposedly the earth is flat and it's like some big movement going on. I don't know. I don't know what I believe. Who knows? I just know I've never fallen off the edge of the earth, so I'm not really worried about it. I'm not really worried about, like, driving off the end of the earth. So, hey, Candace. Good morning. Thanks for coming. I thought it was just going to be me, Carrie, and Samara. But watch, yeah. I don't know. That's supposedly they believe that the earth is flat. And I don't know what they think what happens when you get to the end of the earth and where the end of the earth is, but that's their belief. And who am I to question anybody's belief? If the earth was flat, a cat would have knocked something off of it. That's right. That's right. Well, how do they explain when people go to the guys go to the moon, and when they have pictures, the earth is round? Like, how do they explain that? I don't know. But I still think the earth is round, so that's why it goes around the sun. Hey, Gemma. Good morning. Oh. Yeah. Oh, it never happened. Receipts are the earth is not round. Oh my gosh. I'm watching the one where Paul McCartney is actually a fake. Oh, really? Well, what about the one where Elvis Presley didn't really die? Like he's somewhere. Like Elvis Presley is alive and living his life. I mean, it's just like you could believe what you want, It is what it is. People will believe what they want. Jim, I was just saying this morning there was a woman in Montana that was camping by herself and was pulled out of her tent by a grizzly bear and killed. Like, actually, I've been to Montana, like, I'm not camping, not ever camping, but where we rented a house there and stayed there. It was like it was during Easter, so it was still cold out. And Kurt Cobain was murdered. I heard that too. There's another one too, Samara. That the what do you call it? Those brothers the Menendez brothers are innocent. Jodi Arias is innocent. There's one for you. I think she's a monster. That's on YouTube. Yeah. I think he committed suicide. That's my belief. And I could be wrong. Oh, and Scott Peterson is innocent. Oh, no. He's getting a new trial, though, I heard. Scott Peterson, I heard he's getting a new trial. That's disgusting to me. He murdered his pregnant wife. That's just like Chris Watts thinking that he's going to be free someday. Think again, you murdering pig. Like, I have a hard time. Like, I've been watching true crime things, documentaries. I watch them, and I have a hard time once someone's convicted believing that they're innocent. I do. Like, because I think it happens so seldom that an innocent person is convicted. Like, it has happened, but like Darlie Routier, I believe, is guilty. Jodi Arias definitely believe that she did such a disservice to women that are abuse victims. because, she used domestic abuse as a defense, saying that she was abused. I just think she did a really disservice to women that are definitely really are victims of domestic abuse. Well, I'm training to be a proper victims advocate, so I'm all for victims and families. My cousin does that. My cousin works with victims of domestic abuse and families of people that are left behind after a woman is killed by her significant other. It's not always husbands, And, there are men that are also victims of domestic violence. We don't talk about it a lot, and probably a lot of men don't come forward about it because it's just something that is probably men don't want to talk about. But I believe there's some men that are abused. I mean, why not? Some women are horrible. Oh my God, like watching true crime, like watching true crime documentaries. I think some of the women that have committed these murders some of them are worse than the men. Many men are abused. They're ashamed and they shouldn't be. Yeah, they shouldn't be, but they probably are thinking, well, I'm a man. But a lot of men, the problem with a lot of men is they won't fight back, because if they do, then they're accused of being an abuser. And another thing I don't agree with is women using, and this happens, and I've seen it a lot in like the documentaries I've been watching, is when they're in custody battles, they accuse the man of being the P word. In other words, sexually abusing their children. And that, I think, if a woman does that to try and get an upper hand on getting kids, and they find out it's not true, she should be put in jail. I seriously think that if someone does that to get an upper hand on having custody, hi Anita, that if a woman does that, and look, I'm a woman, I advocate for women. I was a survivor of domestic violence. But if a woman does that to get an upper hand on getting custody of her kids, I think it's disgusting. Because then they're putting a bad light on people that are really, because a lot of women really are, in that situation. Another thing I saw on one of the documentaries is a woman can put a dot on the middle of their hand, okay? And if they're in danger and they can't say, because if you're in that kind of situation, you can't say because you're afraid of what will happen. All they have to do is, if they're around a police officer or someone that knows, just show their hand, and if there's a dot on it, that means I'm in trouble, I need help, but I can't talk. So women can abuse the system, and it makes it harder for those who truly are abused. And I'm not saying that it's like prevalent that men are abused, but men do get abused. And look, I have a son and I have a daughter. I would not like to see my son go through that. Hey, Jackpot. You didn't miss much. We're just kind of chit-chatting. But yeah, I feel like I would not like to see my son lose custody of his child because his ex is so horrible. And I'm lucky with my children. They've never had problems with their exes. They've stayed they've stayed in good relationships with their exes. But I'm lucky that way, but I would be heartbroken if my son's child was taken away from him, even when he was going through his problems with abuse, like some substance abuse, his ex, stood by him. And now he's helping her because she's having problems. She's an alcoholic. And now he's helping her out. So I guess it all, it all turns around. But yeah, he's really, my daughter said, you would not believe, Mom, how patient he was. When he was using, he was the most impatient child ever. I mean, he's a grown up, he's a man, but he was the most impatient person ever. And my daughter, when I talked to her, she goes, Mom, you would not believe how patient he is with her, how he just takes care of his son. He doesn't complain about anything. Makes sure he's, he goes to school, he gets to school. Just really, really has really turned his life around. He's even to the point where, he went cold turkey off all the drugs, first of all, but he even went off, he quit smoking. So he's not even a smoker anymore. He won't go near anything alcoholic, just nothing. He's just completely turned his life around. He's very spiritual. I'm not saying religious, but he's very spiritual. Like when I call him, it's so weird to talk to him now because he's he was never like that, but he's really gotten, I don't know what they did to him in that place, but they really, so many tragic stories all the time. It's nice to hear successes. I hold my breath every day. I'm not going to be, I'm not kidding myself. I hold my breath every day, hoping that, he doesn't relapse or he doesn't, go backwards. But so far, so good, knock on wood. He hasn't, and he's doing so awesome, so awesome. He lost everything. He was at the point where he had lost everything. He lost his job, lost where he lived, lost his car, lost everything. Now he's building back up. He's got a car, he's got a place to live, he's got his son, and he's helping his ex. They're not even together, and he's helping her battle alcoholism. So, I'm so proud of him. I'm really proud. You're a mom that's there for your son, and it's each day, a breath at a time. Glad to hear, Carla, he's turned his life. He really has. They make us grow up in those places, and we learn how to live clean. Well, here's the thing with my son. I was enabling him. I was. And anytime he, couldn't pay his bills or he couldn't pay his insurance on his car, I would give him money. And he gave him money. It was an endless bank. And, I remember one time sending him money for my grandson's birthday. And instead of spending it on the birthday, he went to the Dollar Tree or dollar store and got him a few little toys and spent the rest on drugs. I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken for my grandson. And that was kind of my starting of my eye opening. And then when my daughter called me and said, she called me out of the blue. She called me and she said, Mom, if you give my brother any more money, you're going to kill him. We are going to find him somewhere in an alley overdosed. So, and then he was still asking for money, and I had to say no to him. I couldn't even barely say, he was so mad at me. He was so mad because it was he was so used to me coming through and giving him money. That, that was the push he needed to go to rehab. And he's doing so awesome now. But, it was hard. It was hard. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to do with him, was actually say no. to giving him money. I didn't, like, if he needed food or whatever. Here's what really pissed him off was if he was like out of food or whatever, I would give the money to my daughter and she would go out and buy him food and buy him things. But that didn't even work either, because at that point he was having all these druggies at his house, at his apartment, that were staying there and eating all the food. Like, he wasn't even getting the food. He was these people, people that were staying at his place were eating the food. So a doctor told my mother the same thing about my brother. I hid my habit, but my brother was very sick, both mentally and in active addiction. Yeah. And it's so hard for a parent. Like, it's so hard. And especially me, like, I don't understand addiction. I've never been an alcoholic. I've never been addicted to any kind of drug, but like painkillers, nothing. So it's really hard for me to understand addiction. So I really didn't understand what I was doing by giving him this money all the time and just like allowing him to kind of manipulate me. And he was manipulating me. Yeah, how are you and your brother doing, Anita? Because it's kind of hard. Like, you got to think about, like, even when he was going through the 12-step program and he called me up and like, he had to like apologize, because I guess one of the steps in this 12-step program is you got to apologize to all the people that you've done wrong to. And he went through his step was when, oh my God, because when I stopped giving him money, he was horrible. My brother was murdered in a drug deal and I'm clean 5 years. Oh, I'm so sorry, Anita. Oh, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. My condolences. I'm so sorry. That's the thing, is it just, it's, you know, it's hard for parents. Hi, Denise. Making amends. Yeah, making amends. And that's the thing, is when he did have to make his amends, and he called me and he said, Mom, I'm so sorry. Because he called me. I'll tell you what. Oh, the names. Because he was so mad because I wasn't. Well, first of all, he was mad because I was giving money. I was giving money to my daughter to buy him food, to put a cart, money on his phone. I wasn't giving him money in his hand. I even, towards the end, even after he was in rehab, I wouldn't send him money for his son. I gave the money to my daughter, and she went out and bought the gifts for his birthday and Christmas. And I just wouldn't give him. I still, to this day, like, I have a hard time trusting that he's 100% okay. Yes, congratulations, Anita. I know it's a hard road, but he's done so well. Like, I can't even believe like how blessed I feel that he's done so well. And like, even my daughter says, Mom, he is so patient. He's gained his patience back. He's a good person. He's got his job, which keeps him busy. So he's not hanging out with the people and I'm not going to call them, and I have called them like lowlifes and druggies and stuff. I'm not going to call them that, because everybody has a reason that they're in an active addiction. But he's not surrounding himself with people that are in active addiction anymore. And that's one of the things they told him to not do, was to get away from these people that are still doing drugs, and because he was bad. I mean, he was bad. He was really bad. we had a rocky relationship because the drugs made him steal from me and stuff, but we were okay when he died, which was a blessing. Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's the thing was when every time when my son was in an active addiction, Anita, every time my phone rang, every single time my heart would be in my throat. It would be like, oh my God, who, and if it was my daughter, like if I was out and about and my daughter came up because we FaceTimed and stuff. If her name would come up on my, Facebook or whatever, my heart would stop because I would be like, towards the end of my son's addiction, before he went into rehab, I was honestly praying that he would get arrested. I was at the end of my rope. I didn't know. Even my daughter was like, God, I want him to go to jail. I do and I don't. Like, you feel guilty for even thinking that. But, you're at the end of your rope. You don't know what else you can do. You can't be with your child, especially when they're grown up. You can't be with them 24 hours a day. So, yeah. So when it was hard. That was hard. And and then you feel guilty because you're sitting there thinking, well, at least if he's in jail, he's not able to get any. Of course, that's not true either. I mean, people sneak drugs into jail all the time, but yeah, even if it meant going to jail, like that's what I would, and then I would feel guilty for even thinking that, because I would think to myself, God, how could a mother wish her child goes to jail rather than be like free? Well, thing is, I knew like if he was in jail, at least he wasn't on the street getting some kind of like really bad drug that could kill him. So yeah, but he's doing well now, and knock on wood, it's going to stay that way. I'm glad it helps you, because dealing with it makes you just want. And actually, well, they told him that he's ADHD, like something that I never knew, and he's been all his life. I mean, how could a mother not know your child is ADHD? Like, I don't know. It wasn't a thing back then. When he was growing up, it was just not a thing. And both their children, like my son's son and my daughter's son, are both ADHD. One has severe anger issues that he almost got kicked out of school, and he's only a child, like a baby. But they couldn't handle him. He couldn't stay still. So now what they do with him is they let him, they have to let him run up and down the hallway when he's in school, because he's got this pent up energy. And if he's not allowed to release that energy, he's destructive. So they have to let him do that. And it's all like, and plus he's like on some kind of medication. Don't ask me what. He's on some kind of medication, which both my son and my daughter like delayed putting them on medication because they really didn't want their personalities to change. Hyperactivity is now classed as ADHD, and years ago we didn't have the information like we do now. And you know what? When I think back on my son, like the childhood my son had, and it wasn't a bad childhood, other than their dad was a creep. He was always hyper. He still is to this day. He's hyperactive. He doesn't take any kind of medication. I think he's right now, after going through rehab and everything, I don't think he ever will. because he's just not, he doesn't want to. Gemma, you're one of a kind. Carla has the best things to say about you all the time. Oh, yeah, she is. She's a sweetheart. I love Gemma. I can't remember what I was saying. I'm like such a dummy. I forget. So, yeah. Oh, I was going to tell a story about my cat. Like, to change the complete story. Like we're going to be doing like some pet adoption things on my channel, and I wanted to share a story about this cat we had when I was growing up. And we had a cat when I was growing up that my mom didn't want a cat because we had a Doberman. Okay. So she just didn't think it would be a good mix to have a cat and a Doberman in our house. So my brother's friend's cat had kittens. And so my brother wanted a cat. So it was a calico. So my brother snuck it in the house and he kept it for about 3 months. Like he had a litter box in his room. He fed it. He bought cat food for this cat. He took care of the cat. It was really good. We all knew the cat was there. My mom didn't, because my mom was adamant she did not want a cat. Well, it ended up, once she found out that we had a cat in the house, she loved that cat. But anyways, that's not the story. Story is, we went camping up in the mountains, and we always took our cat with us. That was like, we took our cat and our dog, and we had a harness for the cat. And, it was bear country, like I was up in the mountains, but so we took our cat with us. Well, somehow the cat got out of the harness. And we looked for that cat. I'll tell you what, we looked for that cat high and low and high and low, and nowhere. We could not find it. And we had to go home. And well, all us kids were a mess because we had to go home without our cat. Funny Face, we called her. Funny Face was our cat's name. So we went home and kind of like mourned our cat's loss and whatever. And we went back to the same campground like 28 or 30, about a month later. And I hear my dad wakes us up in the morning. He's like, kids, get up. You'll never guess this. There was our cat. After a month. I mean, she was emaciated. She was very emaciated, like you could tell, but she had survived almost 30 days in the wilderness by herself. I don't know what she lived off of. Don't want to know. But we were sure that she would have gotten eaten by, like a bobcat or a bear, or I guess. And she must have smelt us or whatever, but she came around. And my dad was an early bird. So he would be up in the morning making a campfire, and we would eat breakfast, over the campfire. He would cook over the campfire and stuff. And she just like sauntered up to the campfire, and there she was. So he couldn't wait to get us up. We were so happy to see her, but, picking her up, it was like you could feel the bones on her. She was that skinny. The bobcat ran the other way when she saw Funny Face. Yeah, I don't know. We were just like amazed that she had lived that long. And that cat, honest to God, that cat lived to be 22 years old. 22, almost 23 years old. She lived a ripe old age. She had a good long life. And I think she went through 9 lives in her long life. making it and the collapse of the Champlain Towers. And yeah, we were talking about that the other day. That's what reminded me of this story about Funny Face, because she, and I don't even know why we called her Funny Face. It just like, my brother couldn't think of a name for her. And my sister and I said, well, she's got a funny face. So after that, she was a funny face. But my mother did not want a cat. She did not want a cat. And when we got that cat, my mother was the one that, she spoiled that cat rotten. She was the one that didn't want that cat. Oh, she was mad about having the cat in the house. Cats are apex predators. Pound for pound, they will kill anything. Hey, Gingerlocks, how are you? Yeah, how are you? You're back home, huh? Good to see you. Yeah, so that cat made it 30 days out in the wilderness until we came back. I just often wonder if we hadn't, because we camped in the exact same spot we had camped. Hi, Reagan. We camped in the exact same spot that we had camped in when we lost her. So I often wonder if we hadn't camped in that spot, if she would have found us. Yeah, I do actually. I'll find them. My sister has cats of her, photos of her. I will find them, and I will yeah, I'll show you her. She was like a calico. My mom kept like a lot of the cats. Like she kept all the Duke, but we do have some on our face. There's some in our my sister's Facebook page, my Facebook page. I should show you Katie too. I'll have to find pictures of Katie. I don't have her on my Facebook page, but I have. She kind of looks like your Turbo. But Katie wasn't big. Katie was fat, though. Katie was fat, really fat. Katie was a chunkette. She was a chunky girl. My cat is 16. She's calico, long hair. She's the boss. I know, my cat, I'll tell you what. The very first time she ate in the house, downstairs, after my mom found out we had a cat. Duke was a Doberman. Keep in mind, Duke was a Doberman, was eating his food, and then they put Funny Face's food down right beside her. So she goes up to her dish to eat, and Duke, of course, being Duke is a dumb dog. He was a really dumb dog. Got nosy and put his nose near her dish. She scratched him on the nose. After that, if Duke was eating and Funny Face would come up to her dish, Duke would back off, like he would step back and he would let her eat. And then when she was done, he would go back to eating. He would not eat while she was eating. He gave her that respect. She ran the roost. I'll tell you what, she ran that house. How are you doing, Gingerlocks? How was your vacation? Yeah, she was the boss in the house. Duke was a dumb dog. Duke, oh my gosh, if you opened that door like this much, Duke would take off. Like that dog would take off. That's how he ended up getting hit by a car and getting his leg broken. And he was in a cast for a while. That's good. I'm glad to hear. He was in a cast for a while. And of course, in the cast, he couldn't put any pressure on it. So his he would walk around with his, on 3 legs. But after that, when it healed and he could walk around on it, if he wanted sympathy, this dog knew. If he was in trouble, if he did something bad or whatever, first thing he'd do is he'd lift up his leg and then he'd look at you like, well, you can't be mad at me because I've got a broken leg. Oh my God. He knew how to soak that. Hi, Angie. How are you? I don't feel so beautiful today. I feel like pretty freaking nasty. I'm telling you, my nose is running really bad, guys. Hi, Aegis Beauty. Yeah. I'm glad you came in. I was fun. I thought it was just going to be three of us. I thought it was just going to be Jenna. Hi. Nice to see you, Jenna. Glad your party went well. Oh my God. I put it back in a clip because it was just like such a mess this morning. And my nose is running like really bad. Like really, really bad. Oh, thank you. I didn't do anything. Actually, I just washed my face this morning, brushed my teeth. That was it. And I'm drinking my first cup of coffee. It's already cold. Guys, I have not hardly been drinking coffee at all lately. I've been like barely drinking it. It is, I think it is, Reagan, because I've been sneezing a lot. Like, I mean a lot. Like, and if you can hear, my voice is kind of raspy. So I think it is. I think it's allergies. I never, you know what's weird is I never had allergies. I never suffered with allergies, never had a problem with allergies. It's on. Never had a problem with allergies, never suffered from them. But now all of a sudden, I sneeze. I mean, when I don't just sneeze one time, I'll sneeze like 10 times in a row. And then my nose is like running all day. God. I didn't even do anything this morning. I didn't even wash I washed my face. That's it. I washed my face and put my hair in a clip because I didn't feel like it. I love coming here in the morning, Carla. Thank you for a nice place to. Aw, I like having you guys here. I have the like best people here. Oh my gosh, Jenna, you should have seen the roads, not yesterday, but the day before. They were like almost like they were up to the bottom of my car. Like they were so like, oh, we were just getting like rain, like it was coming down in buckets. Yeah, I try to be, Anita. I don't. I'm not into all that drama stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll watch it sometimes, but to be honest with you, I have such a short attention span for it anymore. I'll move on to something else. Like there's so many channels on like that. Like right now, I'm looking at making. I've been like, well, I'll show you. I've been making these. Well, I made these yesterday. I don't know what do you guys think? Because I'm making these baby booties, but they're kind of big. So see the bottom of them, but I don't really like the way they turned out. So I want to make them a little smaller. So something's sticking out here I got to fix, but yeah, so yeah, I started crocheting again, and I got this new pattern. It's for a market bag, so I'm going to make that. And I'll probably do a giveaway again because I haven't done one of those in so long. So I think I'm going to do that with I think $100 gift card because I think I need to do one of those. And anybody, the only stipulation is you got to be here. But I have to think about what I'm going to give away. I might give away some market bags. I got a couple that I made. When did I make them? Last week. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, last week. So I made this one. It's just like, yeah. So you put your produce or whatever in here, and here's the other one I made. I kind of like this one, and it's all in cotton, so it's, yeah, it's washable. So, and I got another, like, I got another bunch of stuff upstairs that I'm going to do a giveaway, and plus gift cards. So hang on. I always have to find it. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. Ugh. Just give me a second. Whenever I look for it, I can't find it. I never think about posting it. I should do it in my, oh, let me see. See if this works. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that will work or not. Hey, Carlos. Nice to see you. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a market bag away with a bunch of stuff like crocheted dishcloths, pot holders, and, some stuff. But right now I'm working on the baby booties and a baby hat for somebody. Samara, welcome to the Coffee Coalition. Okay, Jenna. Well, like I said this morning, like I was talking to some people this morning, I'm like, I have nothing to talk about. I never have a subject. But yeah, I was just thinking about that lady in Montana that got pulled out of her tent and was killed by a grizzly bear. I was like, oh my gosh. And you always hear, every year you hear about someone having gotten attacked by a bear or something like that, or an alligator somewhere. That would be my ultimate. Oh, and then when I was watching that channel, it was like animals that will attack. Oh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine being, and I can't imagine going swimming anywhere where there's alligators or crocodiles. What are people thinking? Or sharks, for that matter. Why do people go swimming in those places? They remind me of my grandmother. She crocheted a bag to put my things in when I'm in my car. Yeah, I did crochet. I crocheted a couple of bags for Samara, and then we kind of went on the outs. But I could not. She had picked these specific bags out. Listen, this happens on YouTube all the time. But she had picked these specific bags out that she really liked. And I could not, in my heart, I could not give those 3 bags to anybody because I did always have like a soft spot for Samara, and I wanted her to have those bags because she had picked them out. So I kept them for like, I think it was over a year. And then finally, I sent them to her. I could not let go of them because, when you specifically tell somebody, it's like I'm making these booties for somebody. And I had promised her a market bag too. And I have one actually done for her that I have, not one of those ones. These ones I just did. But it's another one that I've got upstairs. I'm putting a bunch of stuff in that too. Oh, thank you, Angie. I appreciate it. I hope everything's going well for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm going to be giving her some stuff, but I'm not sure I like the way this turned out, the little booty. It's too big for a newborn. First of all, this won't fit the baby until he's like 6 months, probably. I don't know. I don't know why this thing is sticking out, but anyways, gotta fix that. But I don't like the way it turned out, but I'll make it smaller. Can you guys do me a favor? And I don't know if she's going to get mad at me for saying this, but can you guys say a prayer for Misbehaving? She's really dealing with a lot right now. And I just want her to be okay. Hi, Winters Happen. Nice to see you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, and also Joy. I talked to Joy on the phone on Saturday night, and she's really having a tough time. So could you just find it in your hearts to like say a prayer for her? She's really having a hard time accepting everything that happened, with her husband passing from COVID. And I think about Misbehaving and, of course, Joy, because it's a hard thing. It's a very hard thing. Yes, Misbehaving. I'm not going to go into details about it, but she's going through a lot right now. A lot. And I just want her to know that I'm thinking about her at all times. So, anyways, I don't even know why I turned my camera on today. To be honest with you, I look like crap. Yeah, for everybody, to be honest with you, for everybody, because everybody, a lot of people, and for Samara too. Can you guys say a prayer for Samara? She, the lady that she works for, that she takes care of her dogs, they lost their little, her boss lost her fur baby the other day. So Samara took it very, very hard. So I'm thinking about Samara too. So, we're all going through a lot of things. That's why I say, like, sometimes it's not worth this YouTube drama. It's just not worth it to me. It's just not worth it. There's so many other things to think about. Think about all these. Like, I think I saw on YouTube the other day where they've only recovered 48 bodies out of all the people that are missing in that collapse. Like, I mean, there's no chance now that any of them will be found, alive. But, that's, the pain is out of this world. I can't believe. Well, and the thing is, it's higher now. It's 90. Yeah, I stopped watching it because it's just like so heartbreaking. Well, when I went on YouTube that one day, they had found a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old, and my heart just sank. It was just, oh. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you lost a pet or you lost, and a lot of people will say, well, it's just a pet. It's not just a pet. It's your family. Well, that's good, Samara. I hope they find everybody and they give families closure, because but just seeing that wall of that memorial wall is really, really heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking. I can't even imagine. I think I'll try to get some sun today. Every time I go outside, I'm sneezing like sneeze and sneeze and sneeze. I was like, pollen. It's killing me. What's all good now, Angie? I know I look like crap. Oh, what makes someone like me have the gall to go live and put their camera on? Who knows? I'll get made fun of, I'm sure. I just want whoever is responsible for that building. Oh, I believe that they will. I really do believe that they will be in trouble. I do. Look at my hair. It's like a mess. And I don't care. Oh. So I'm going to be working on doing decent booties today. Like, oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy. I don't know why. Believe it or not, when I'm crocheting, it's harder for me to do the smaller projects than it is to do the bigger projects. It will take me less time to do a market bag that's this size than it does to do a booty that this size. You would not believe how many times I took this apart and put it back. It just like, no, I didn't, Gemma. I'm sorry. I have just not been on YouTube. I will check it out though. Electric shock in school in the USA. I did a couple days ago. No, I will check it out though. I will check it out. I cannot stop watching all the channels that are talking about construction, and I don't know if I would want to stay in a building that's more than 2 stories high. At least if you're only 2 stories up, like we have like a second floor here. At least if we jump off, our roof, we have a chance that we're not going to break our neck. We have a chance that we might survive. Plus, we're not living near the ocean where, the salt water, the salt water is going to like corrode our building. Can you imagine though? I mean, I can't even imagine the terror those people felt when the building was probably like an earthquake. I'm ground floor apartment, so if something happens, I can get out quick. I was always afraid to live on the ground floor when I was living in an apartment. I was always, because we had there were sliding glass doors, and I was always scared that somebody would come into my apartment. But then the second floor was not much higher than the first floor. So really, if I lived on the second floor, they could have just climbed onto my balcony and got in anyway. So, and even my house here, because we never lock our sliding doors. My husband, we locked ourselves out one day. My husband climbed up and got in that way and unlocked the door. So where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. But yeah, so if someone really wants to get into your house, they're going to get in there somehow, by hook or by crook. There was a fire in my apartment block last year. I slept through it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's scary too. That's another thing I was watching. Things that can kill you is fire. That would be my worst nightmare, would be either to die in a fire or to drown. Because I watched a movie where these girls went not cave diving, but they went down to watch sharks in a cage, and the cage broke loose from the boat, and they were stuck in the cage underwater. Oh my God, that was so scary. I'm like this. Oh my God. I hate watching those. I don't know why I watch those movies. They scare the crap out of me. I only got woken up by police banging on my door. Well, I'm glad they banged on your door. At least they banged on your door and woke you up. Good Lord. That's got to be like, oh, this be terrible. See, that's why I don't want to live in an apartment condo building where someone can forget a candle is burning and boom, everyone suffers from it. Yeah. That's why I'm glad I don't smoke. Because one time when I did smoke, I remember sitting outside and I was smoking and I didn't put the ash out all the way. And when I went outside, I saw smoke coming out. It had fallen out of the ashtray and it was burning the end table. I mean, that can happen. So like, and I don't miss smoking. I mean, I have a vape and every once in a while I'll suck on that, but it's very seldom. I don't miss smoking at all. I don't miss it. And to be honest with you, if I'm out and about, I can tell if someone walks by me if they're a smoker, if they're not, because I can smell it on them. This wasn't a candle incident. It was somebody trying to kill my neighbor by putting diesel through her letterbox. Oh my gosh. Gemma, that's horrible. My grandmother fell asleep with a cigarette once in bed. She was very lucky. My son-in-law's friend died in a house fire, falling asleep in a chair with a cigarette and burnt to death. He was drunk, went out one night, went home, was smoking a cigarette, fell out of his fingers and burned. A hot ash fell into the chair and he just burned to death. I can't imagine. That'd be the worst way to pass away. That'd be the worst. Worst. Yeah. But you see those high-rise apartment buildings where people are on like 911, not 911, but like people are on like the top floors and they don't have any chance but either burn to death or die of smoke inhalation. Or can you imagine having to make that decision? Like, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But anyways, guys, I think I'm going to shut down. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm not sure when yet. I will announce it, but it will be $100 giveaway. And it will also be with some crochet helper. Hi, True Helper. And my heart goes out to any and everyone dealing with personal and family addiction. As far as the Florida building, there were all kinds of failures and signs. I believe that wholeheartedly too. I think people knew something was wrong and things weren't. Hopefully somebody is held accountable for that. It is a crime to me. I'm happy to see you, by the way, True Helper. I haven't seen you in one of my live streams for a long time. It is a crime because so many people, it's a mass killing, to be honest with you. And that's how I take it. I mean, it was a mass killing. And for the family members, I don't know. It's just, to save money is not worth lives. No amount of money saved is worth even one life lost. No amount. None whatsoever. Yeah, I'm actually okay as far as my son goes with the addiction. I mean, he's done so well. I'm so proud of him. He's managed to maintain his sobriety, and he's actually even helping his ex, who is his ex, with her alcohol addiction. So I'm very proud of him. I watched a few videos, and there were very obvious stress fractures plus support rot. The rebar wiring was rusted, which causes formed cement to crack. Wow. I don't really understand, the logistics of it all, but I understand that there were signs that this was going to happen. So hopefully somebody is held accountable for it. I hope that, because isn't there a sister building too? Like, hopefully they've evacuated that building. Because I'll tell you what, if I was living in a sister building that was, built around the same time as that one, I would not want to be staying there. There's no way in heck. Support and personal education is all a family member can do for a loved one going through addiction. Well, what I had to do was cut off financial. I had to cut off a lot of financial support to him. So that was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. They did evacuate the building, and they made everyone get out because there's electrical problems and corrosion. Well, good. I wouldn't want to be living there. I hope they're putting them up in a hotel. I don't even know if I want to stay in a building that's over, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's over 2 stories. I'd want to just get a ground floor level home. But I don't know. But anyways, guys, I'm about ready to sign off here. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate it. I have so much to do today, but I love you all for coming in. I appreciate you all for coming in, and you guys have a great day. Bye.